Those who dwell in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. And I will say of him, you are my refuge and fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely you will rescue me from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. You will spread your feathers over me, and under your wings I will find rest. Your faithfulness will be my shield and rampart. The arrow will not harm me by day. What does that mean to you? What do you do with that? The verse goes on, and we'll get to that in a minute, but that little chunk there is huge. And by the way, welcome to Church on the Net. It's a bright Sunday morning. It's a little overcast here, but it's beautiful still and nice. We're getting ready to go into fall. But when the struggles that you have today or this week, are you realizing who your shelter is and what he has for you? What he wants to do for you? Are you putting those things into practice and using the resources you have? When things are tight and tough, it is so hard to rely on God totally. But we have to. It's our strength. It's what we have. When things happen to us, rather than sit and look and say, why did the Lord let this happen to me? Because he didn't. Things happen. What can you do to change it, to make it right? What can you do to look at the right thing to do and the right way to handle things? Will you let the Lord be your help, or will you dwell in self-pity and not rise up to the challenges that you have? Will you take his word into your heart? I think two of the things that stick out to me are, the first one is, I like the whole verse. I've memorized it, but I like the first part where it says, you are my refuge and my fortress. So you're not only my place to run to when things get bad, but you're also a fortress to protect me. And then, if you've ever seen doves, how they cuddle their babies under their wings, it's kind of the analogy he's using. When we're having a hard time, he spreads his feathers over us and takes us under his wing. But the most important thing I think that we need to remember from this little short part of this verse, excuse me, comes in the very last part that I read, that it's all about him, his faithfulness, not ours, because our faithfulness is kind of weak and it sucks sometimes, we aren't that faithful to God all the time. But his faithfulness will be my shield and rampart. My defense and my advance are his. They're all about him. When we're going through rough stuff, Mom, rough stuff. But when we're going through rough stuff, who do we rely on? You gotta have people in your life that are positively gonna help you and kind of put you forward, that love you regardless of mistakes, regardless of mistrials and things that people say. They're gonna believe the best in you. It's hard to do sometimes, but you gotta do it. If you really love someone, you gotta do it. But the thing is, he is our advance. He's our protection. You can run to him. I don't care how big and strong or how independent or how whatever you think you are. He is always bigger, always better, and always there. You just have to call in his name, run to him. We forget that sometimes, or we don't put as much value in it that we need to. So when you're looking at your past week, this week, where were the attacks, and where did you handle things correctly, and where did you handle things wrongly? There's a poem that I used a lot when my best friend was murdered when I was a freshman, sophomore in college. And somebody gave it to me, and honestly, I think it may have even been him before he died. But it's called Broken Dreams, and it goes, let me see if I can remember, it's been a while. As children bring their broken toys with tears for us to mend, I brought my broken dreams to God because He was my friend. But then, instead of leaving Him in peace to work alone, I hung around and tried to help with ways that were my own. At last I snatched them back and cried, "How can you be so slow?" He said, "My child, what could I do? You never did let go." As we get older, we learn more inconsistencies. We build a big wall around ourselves that sometimes we don't even let those who really love us get in. I know this, and some of you know this because I've worked for years and years to get through that wall, to get some healing to some of you. And I don't give up. Mike Warnke is a comedian from my era who I used to love to watch, and he once talked about his grandma when he was going through the rough stuff. He said, if you've got a praying grandma for you, she don't shut up, so you might as well give up. And I like to think that of myself a little bit. I'm not a grandma by any means, not even a grandpa yet, but I just don't believe in giving up on people because nobody gave up on me, and I've been a mess. Still am, working on myself. But what will we do with those messes in our lives? We're called to love each other in their mess and take them to a higher place. What is your shelter? Are you using God as your shelter? Or are you using your own means? Are you using your own things that you think about as a shelter? How is that working out? If you don't have people in your life that love and support you that way, then you need to call me. You need to talk to me. Call me or message me, even privately. And let's talk about what that means and how to get you started in that process. If you're in the mentoring program, I'm not fairly, I was going to say fairly, but extremely overprotective of you and your feelings, because I know so many of you have given me your feelings, and that's cool, because that's the start in the process. But I still pattern it after King David. He had his mighty men, and he relied on the prophets. He relied on the people of God. You need to get into a good church. Got to. Church on the net's great, but you need to get into fellowship. You need to get in one of our fellowship groups that we have at DLM if you can. And you need to get in the Word. I only ask that you give me 10 minutes a day. You do it on your own. You don't have to talk to me. But 10 minutes a day for 3 days a week to start with. That's 30 minutes over the whole week to give to God. That's not much. Not much at all. And I'll say this again. I'm so glad that he was a better steward of his time, because otherwise he has a lot to do. He spent 33 years so that we could know him. What will you do for him lately? Are you seeking him? Are you dwelling in his presence? Do you know him? Listen, I love you, and I'm saying this out of love. Get yourself together. Lean as hard as you can. There's people that love you that are not going to judge you for anything you've done, but don't want to take you to the next level with Christ. The motto I live by is one that I hope some of you will adapt at some time, and it simply goes, only one life will soon be passed. Only what's done for Christ will last. That's what I live by. You can do whatever you want, but the only things that last are the things that you've done for Christ and for people in his name. God bless you. I love you. Leave comments below. Please share this. And again, if you want to support the ministry of Deeper Level Mentoring, our snail mail address is 4912 Royal Troon, Troon Drive, Raleigh, North Carolina, 27604. If you're going to write a check or something, make it out to DLM or Deeper Level Mentoring. And if you want to do it fast way through PayPal, it's Deeper Level Mentoring, all one word, at gmail.com. Website's not quite up yet, but we're working on it. God bless you. I pray that you would pray for us in this ministry. Also, we're going to be traveling this week to pick up our stuff, to move Monica up here with us and everything. So I appreciate your prayers. God bless you and have a great day. It's your day. Make it what you want. It's going to be a good day with God. All things are possible. Love you.